Hey guys, I'm Viki. I'm the co-founder of KodaDot and the technical wizard in our project. So if you need to implement anything super special or cast some magic, I'm the person who is doing that. And you can find me on the GitHub and Twitter at Viki Val. Also, I'm on Discord, and my web is wiki.inc. And question is what's KodaDot? It's open source NFT marketplace on the Polkadot and other parachains. And we are multi-chain powered, so already supporting Polkadot, Kusama, Basilisk, Moonbeam, Moonriver, Astar. So in TLDR, we are technology agnostic. So that means we power 6 standards on 9 different chains. And we are basically bounty based. So we are bringing devs to the ecosystem. So they are basically learning by doing the various tasks, such as front-end tasks or more advanced tasks, such as interacting with blockchain. And we have already 450 stars, 260 forks, and more than 100 contributors. And main question is what are the NFTs? Mostly people outside of the ecosystem can imagine that those pricey pictures which were totally hyped last year during the bull market. And they can imagine the monkeys or so in the price for Lambo. But in general, it's basically bytes that should represent the unique items on the blockchain. And it often comes with the metadata. So in the JSON format. And as you can see on the picture, basically these metadata hold various properties, such as name, image, so you can see it on the marketplace, and some description. And most of the NFT marketplaces use OpenSea metadata standards. Of course, there are already many other standards who are trying to bring something new, but at the end of the day, they just fall back to the OpenSea standard because it's widely used, generally available, easy to understand. And what are the modern approaches to the NFTs except those pricey pictures? Yeah, first are PFPs, of course, people put them on the Twitter, so they can see they are affiliated with some of the NFT collections. Then you can use it with DeFi. So you can imagine NFTs such as LP position, liquidity mining. That's what Basilisk is doing on Polkadot. Then you can create some utility for the NFT. So such as claimables, or as Sasha mentioned 2 days ago, NFT fashion. So you can put NFC tag to the dress. And then you can see, okay, this is a really nice dress that you can then sell on the marketplace. But in general, what do we miss? And in one sentence, is understanding the standards for the NFTs. So the general idea behind NFTs is the NFT we already know. And it's called ERC-721 on Ethereum. And it's really simple and basic standards. And mostly used for PFPs such as Bored Apes or Pudgy Penguins. And the ERC-721 standard is super nice, and it's easy to build anything on top of that, so such as fractionalization or lending platform. And what we just need to do is create a smart contract, define name, symbol, so such as Bored Ape, Yacht Club, symbol is BAWYC, and link to the metadata. So that's it, and OpenSea can support it right away. So easy and simple. But the problem with these NFTs is that they are super ineffective. So when you want to create a collection and airdrop it to 1,000 friends, you would pay a lot for the gas fees. So it's not super effective, and it's high for the gas fees. So question is, can we do something with these gas fees? Answer is, of course. And we can make ERC-721 more efficient. And there is multi-token standard called ERC-1155, and is multi-token standard. So that means that you can have multiple collections in the one smart contract under one roof. And it supports both fungible and non-fungible tokens. And it also supports batch transfers. So what it means, you can send as many tokens as you want in one transaction. So it's super effective. And thanks to this efficiency, you can use that for DeFi or on-chain games, or you can represent on-chain game assets and trade them. So Now we know like first like basic EVM standards, and the question is, so are there any NFTs in Polkadot? And the answer is, of course. And the first, like already, as you are on the PolkadotPrague, you already know about like Polkadot in general. But why is like Polkadot super cool technology for the NFTs? And the answer is like we have one relay chain and other many parachains that can communicate to each other via like the protocol called XCMP, and they can send basically DMs like, okay, please parachain 1 do this, and the parachain 1 can execute the message. And since we have NFTs across the parachains, we can like create new like modern use cases for that. So such as like create one NFTs on one parachain, send it to the another, sell it on the marketplace, or swap it to another and send it back, for example. But like the one disadvantage of this framework is that each parachain has their own like standard for NFTs, and that's on the one hand like really nice. So you can like experiment with various frameworks, various like functionality. So you are not bound to like just some simple marketplace. But like the problem is it's like hard to implement, right? Like to support all the functionality, thinking like how to bring the technology to the users. And since we have like a substrate as a framework for blockchains, the substrate has something which is called palettes, and it's like plug and play functionality for the blockchain. So basically what you need to do to implement like NFT standard in your blockchain is basically take the module, put it into like your substrate node, such as like you put it like plant it to ground, and boom, that's it, thanks to the like fork-less upgrade. And like first standard, what was available in the Polkadot ecosystem was a remark standard, and basically it was called on-chain graffiti. And literally like similar to NFTs on Bitcoin, it's literally strings on the Kusama network. And it was like super hard to track these NFTs and say like, okay, this was valid transaction, this was invalid transaction, and ensure the compatibility. So what that means, that sometimes it happened that people could do double spend, and then it was like hard to like track the second person, like, okay, please send the money back to the like second buyer. And it was like really first and simple standard that we implemented, but it was quite a success for the like first NFTs in Polkadot ecosystem. And then like Basilisk was the first chain with the NFTs, and it enabled like creators to cheaply and effectively create art. So for like fraction of the cost of the NFTs on Kusama, we had full featured marketplace with like a lot of features. So users can, for example, make offers to the NFTs. And why is it like super nice? It's like you are thinking like, okay, for which price should I list my NFT? Is it 300, 500? And then people like can basically create offers to your NFT. So they can like offer it for 100 or 150, and then you can find like the sweet spot, like how much money you should ask for the NFT. So it's really nice, and people are using it to like ask for the artist, for the art, for the price they would love to pay for that. And also like liquidity mining, so just one of the DeFi use cases is possible via NFTs. So for example, this one is the representation of your position in the LP farm on the Basilisk. And as you can see, it's in the KodaDot interface. So basically you can do all the same things such as with normal NFTs. So you can list it, you can transfer it, you can send it to the other user, or also make offer. So that's like really nice to like play with your LP position on the NFT marketplace. And then like one of the best thing what came to the Polkadot like 2 weeks ago are the native Polkadot NFTs, and there is like special command good parachain on Kusama called StateMine, and what it enabled is peer-to-peer swaps. So people, same as you traded maybe Pokemon cards back then, you can trade like NFTs with your friends. So it also enabled like new use cases what you can do. For example, you can swap your Lambo with some like surcharge to a house, which can be also be represented as an NFT. And also, there are new features, such as drops, so you can distribute NFTs to your fans. Or there is like a whitelist functionality, so you can say, okay, anybody can mint NFT in this collection when they pay, like, for example, 1 kusama or so like $25. And also, we are trying to like find a new use case for the claimable merge. So people, when they create NFTs on some particular collection, they can get for example, discount for our merge in our shop. And the last standards what we support is, apart from the runtime palette, we also support NFTs on smart contracts. So namely Solidity on Moonbeam and WebAssembly and Offstar. And one of the best features of the Polkadot is that you can run the smart contracts in the WebAssembly, which is like much faster than the Solidity one. And also, you should pay like less gas fees. And the marketplace, of course, is coming soon. So now it's like read-only, and you can see like the Moonbeam collections on KodaDot. And like you are still thinking like, okay, like why can't we create like one simple standard such as like we have on Ethereum? The problem is like you have, for example, as this meme, you have 14 different standards, and you decide, okay, let's make another standard that will standardize all the 14 standards. And the result is you have 15 standards. So that's how it works. So we were thinking like differently, like let's not standardize it, let's like unify that. And that's the thesis of of KodaDot. And we want to fit like various NFT standards under one roof. And they're like, harsh truth is like end users doesn't care about like tech. So it doesn't matter for them if it's running on the runtime palette, if it's running on the smart contracts or Solidity or EVM or WebAssembly. No. We want to bring us like stable UI without like too much blockchain lingo. So for people, there is like huge difference between like login and connect your wallet. And like these simple terms can mean a lot for like Web2 user. And we are trying to like go away from the blockchain lingo and trying to like make easy, fun, and seamless to mint on KodaDot. And how is it possible? We want to like deliver like best user experience, and for that we index like events on the blockchain into the database. So what the blockchain indexer does is it processes all the events from the blockchain and saves it to the like predefined schema, and the schema is almost the same per particular chain. So therefore, like 80% of the UI can stay the same. So out of the box, when we implement the indexer, like you can see the view, list, profile, most of the time out of the box. And thanks to the like UI prefix, we know what to do with the NFT. So if the NFT is on Basilisk, we know that we can enable offers. If it's on StateMine, we know we can enable like atomic swaps. And that's the nice thing, like what we do with the technology. And therefore, the UI isn't much like too chunky for the user. And we are still thinking like, okay, we have already this tech, and how to bring like more users to the ecosystem. And the minting process is fun for like first like 10 collections, and then it started to be like boring because you need to upload picture, you need to add like name or metadata or description. But yeah, then you need to wait, and for like when you want to create like 1,000 NFTs at once, it takes quite a lot of time, right? So we had the idea, like let's make a drag and drop UI. So what you like need to do is take your like zip file, drag it to the interface, and it automatically is processed one by one. So you can see like there's picture, there is name, there is description, and you can also like list it out of the box. And then this process is also like streamlined, and then you just need to like press, and everything is uploaded by us, and you just mint the batch of tokens, like in the simple one transaction. And when you like have like this batch of collection, you want to make something special for that, and that's why we're thinking like, okay, we have like really nice UI, but sometimes you want something different than neo-brutalism. Neo-brutalism, like as a UI, is like pretty nice, but some people like maybe glitters, fireworks, or different colors. They want the like pink background. So that's why we created like Marketplace, or let's say Storefront, which is like great showcase of your art. So you can like create special eShop, Shopify powered, and you can like list your collections there. And it's like ultra fast, thanks to like Dino and KodaDot API. And it's super easy to customize, so you have your own shop out of the box. Like really seamless experience. And also apart from like mass minting, we are thinking like how can we use AI to empower the users to create like more art and more like nicer things. So we enabled like first stable diffusion into our product, but then we are thinking like, okay, when you get one field, what you would input into the field? Like for most people, it's like, okay, nice, I have a field, I can make anything, and then people are like thinking, what should I put there? And we realized like making prompt for user is like really hard, so we made like pre-made prompts which can deliver like really nice results. So fit that sweet 80% of the output. And we're also trying many models such as DALL-E, Midjourney, or Stable Diffusion to help us with the generation. And we're thinking also to bring like ChatGPT and other like large language models which can generate, for example, the creative text for the NFTs. And we use waifu minter as the use case in KodaDot and how to like test the ideas, what's possible with the AI. And yeah, the result was we tried like 2 different experiences. And one was like custodial and second was non-custodial experience. And we wanted to like make easy way to onboard people into the like ecosystem. And first iteration was like custodial experience. We had email, which you can use today. And it's very easy to use. You don't need to install anything. But like the problem is sometimes people don't want to share their email and the onboarding to the ecosystem is postponed. The second iteration we tried is like onboarding via Nova Wallet. It's really good because people just install the wallet, create their first account. We can give them some Kusama, like $10. And they have direct access to the platform. They don't need to share any mail or something, so privacy is respected. And they like really can feel like, okay, they are doing something with the app, and the NFT is directly, once it's generated, once it's minted, it's sent to their like own wallet. So that's really nice. And what we believe in KodaDot, like in future, we see that the future is more like asynchronous. So we see that the future of the UI is like no-code approach for the minting of NFTs. So people, as a Lego, they can create and share workflows. So what that means that they want to have like full like workflow of the minting. So let's download all the NFTs from my Google Drive, then upload all the metadata to the IPFS, then mint them on the, for example, state mine, and after you mint them, airdrop them to these 100 addresses. And this workflow, one is done, it's like basically drag and drop UI. Once it's done, we'll notify you for it. And when we need like one transaction, one signature from you, we'll notify you when we need that. And it's simple, fast, and also you can share the workflow so you can play with your friends to create like better experience for NFTs. And like what we see the future of NFTs is basically account abstraction. So there's new EIP coming to the Ethereum. It's called 6551. I'm talking about it a lot the last few weeks. And like there is an idea behind that, like what if NFTs are actually like accounts on the blockchain level, and NFT then can be used as can hold portfolio of your tokens. So instead of like having that on one single hot wallet, your NFT can hold this basket of tokens. And when you decide, okay, I want to cash out of this basket, you don't need to like swap every token on Uniswap. You can sell the whole basket. So you can list it as a whole on Marketplace, and anybody can buy your NFT and gets access to this basket. So it's simpler, and you still save like a lot of gas fees. And we see like huge potential for that on like in the on-chain gaming. So when you have like asset, for example, like this was nice example on Twitter. So a guy created like proof of concept for the gun on the Call of Duty. So you have gun, then you can use like ammunition, which is like another ERC-20 tokens. You can have like suppressor, you can have laser, and all these additions can be represented as NFTs. So once it's on the like NFT wallet, it can be automatically equipped. And we see like KodaDot is doing that as a R&D, like this account abstraction, trying to bring it into Polkadot. And like why don't we use like nesting? And we see that there is also like standard called ERC-721, and it's all about like nesting via parent-child relationship. But what we see, like a limitation of this ERC, is that NFTs can go into the like pending state. That's something you don't want to have on like blockchain at all. So when you want to like add NFTs to another NFT, you need to like propose, then another person needs to accept, reject, and finalize the state. So you have 4 different states for like one simple thing, such as like nesting. So sending one NFT to each other. And also like there is limitation that the parent cannot hold another token, such as ERC-20. And that's why this account abstraction is making it possible. So as I mentioned, it can hold another token, such as ERC-20, ERC-721, ERC-1155. This NFT can also participate in other DAOs because it has also account, and it can be used also for staking. And the like really best thing is that it can be easily sold on KodaDot. And we are always trying new things apart from like NFTs. So we bring the high multi-chain search for everyone. So instead of like 7 seconds to wait for the result, we cut it into like 70 milliseconds. So it's quite a fast and like huge change. We trying to abstract the NFTs from the user experience. So bringing like one simple minting form. So you don't need to care like if it's minted on Basilisk, if it's minted on Kusama or like StateMine. We want to tell you like, okay, let's mint this NFT. And we can choose, for example, for you, like which chain would be the most optimal for you. And then we would love to bring like also private NFTs. We had the zero knowledge proofs and playing with also like, instead of like putting metadata on the IPFS as the common standard now, these days, we want to like bring on-chain art without need to like fetching the data from the IPFS. And also like as a Lens is doing, bring like some graph knowledge into the NFT. So who is, which addresses are interact with each other. And with the via NFTs, you can easily spot, for example, wash trading on the collections. And your contribution matters. So we are still looking for people who are trying to bring like music NFTs, GLSL shaders, also on-chain art. And if you are like super knowledgeable about API or SDK, especially for gaming, we would really love to like see your contribution. And if summer is coming, and we created like really best space in the Europe. It's called Subwork, and it's the like best place for your Web3 retreat in the Julian Alps. And it's one of the 10 most beautiful places in Europe. It's already up and running. We have almost like already like 50 plus visitors, like all the last year. And if you go to subwork.xyz, you can still learn more. And also we have Twitter at subworkblad. So thanks for having us. We are join us on our Discord and follow us on Twitter at KodaDot and on Viki Val. So what are your questions? Thank you.